Good evening, people, and welcome to Football United TV. This is our Premier League weekend show, and now it's time for that famous intro. Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to tonight's show. We've had a good weekend of football, but now I just want to introduce you my special guest, my one and only, my younger brother, Rich. How you doing, Rich?
I'm all right. You all right?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Yeah, you had a good
Good.
weekend?
Yeah, it goes too quick, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. Matter of fact, did you have a good holiday? Did you have a good? Because we both went on holiday, didn't we? So,
yeah. The good and everything. Caught the sun up down in Cornwall.
yeah,
Yeah, well, it rained most of the week, didn't it? Well, Good Friday, Saturday, and Sunday was all right, and then the rest of
it
it was
did
all
rain.
rain, then, wasn't it? So
Yeah, it did rain most of the week. Yeah, and I bloody
yeah,
caught that infection, didn't I? So I'm still getting over it now. So,
I told you you should
but
have slept alone.
yeah, I know. But never mind. Let's
Mm.
let's get on with the football, as we say. Okay, the first game that's coming up is the Aston Villa Newcastle game. Aston Villa totally destroyed Newcastle, played them off the pitch. As the scoreline says there, Rich, 3-0. This game I wasn't expecting. I was on the show doing a prediction show, and I did a 2-2 draw. Believe it or not, you had to put the scoreline in as well. So I predicted this game a draw. As I seen it, the score come in at full time. I was literally shocked with this one. Basically, what I want you to do is give me your roundup, and also what I want to say is, I'll give my little bit of that. I just thought that it was, it was a good match. 3-0. I mean, Unai Emery is a fantastic manager. The way how he sorted this team out, the Aston Villa team, and I think at the minute he's got Ollie Watkins playing the best football at the minute of his career. What's your view of the game, Rich?
I watched the highlights on Master Day Saturday night. Seen a bit of it Sunday on the Sky Sports News, and I've got to be honest with you. I mean, I looked at this fixture and I thought, well, both clubs is on a 5-game unbeaten run. I think I had it down as a draw. I got to be honest with you. I didn't expect Villa to walk over Newcastle, but to me, Newcastle looked a little bit sluggish on Saturday. They didn't get really going. What I seen of it, but
Yeah.
for a place Aston Villa and that Emery, he's worked wonders, haven't he? I mean, he's getting the best out of Ollie Watkins, like you said, and long may it continue. I think he might be called back up from the national side.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I feel that the play they've done is fantastic. Unai Emery 4-3-3. He liked the 4-3-3 even when he was the manager of
Yeah.
Arsenal. That was always the formation he always played. And this formation, since they sacked Steven Gerrard and got Unai Emery in, I think from the formation to the tactics, the way how he wants them to play, everything in that team is going superbly at the minute, and he's doing really well. And you think of it, they're only a couple of points away from sixth place, aren't they? From getting that Europa League spot.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at the tables last night, and I think they're gunning up for that sixth position. It's going to be an interesting finish. That's going to do the Fulham, Brighton, and Villa down that sort of edge of the table with a couple of other clubs in there as well. So that should be exciting. That little part of the table finishes.
Yeah. Right. Go over to the next.
But yeah, shocked with the result though. I've got to be honest with you. I was banking on a draw there, but I think Eddie Howe summed it up as well on Match of the Day on Saturday night. He said they looked a bit below par and everything. They didn't really get going today. He sort of like credited Villa for the win. They was a better side. So you're going to be honest, and yeah, I think Villa deserved to win. Looking at it,
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I mean, Ollie Watkins. It's like what I said. He's been the best football of his career, a minute.
also,
Underneath Unai Emery. But do
great
you
result from
feel?
Man United as well.
Yeah, but do you feel with the Newcastle team? I mean, they have got strikers up front, but how do you feel like comparison with the strikers with the top teams at the minute, the teams that's in the top four? I mean, Man City's got strikers that's scoring. Arsenal's got attacking players that's scoring at the minute. All right, Man United with Marcus Rashford and with Newcastle, their goals it seems to be along the midfield. It doesn't seem to be from the strikers at the minute, doesn't it? Like Callum Wilson or anyone like that. Is
Yeah.
not a prolific goal scorer they can't get.
Really. It surprises me really because I think with Newcastle, if they played that, because he'd been on the bench a couple of times on and off and starting, and that Wilson, I think if they played he up top, I think they would. What's his name? What's the winger there? Maximum and everything, crossing balls in like that. I think he's the sort of striker who could thrive and get on the end of those. So I'm surprised really he don't start as many games as he do. Wilson, I think he could be a prolific goal scorer.
Yeah, you would have thought so. Yeah, but then again, the other question is, I want to tell you, I know you're a Man United fan. That third and fourth spot, who's going to get third and who's going to get fourth? Just out of interest.
I'll keep it short and sweet. But United's not playing in the league this week. So they've got the FA Cup semi-finals. So Newcastle got Tottenham. So hopefully, might get a draw there. And then Man United got Tottenham next Wednesday night, I think. So yeah. But I think United are with Man United at the moment is a bit of hit and miss. I see there seems to be a lot of injuries there at the moment, or across the back 4 or 5, whatever you call them nowadays. So. And he's still in the Europa League, still got the FA Cup. So I think at the end of the day, it might favour Newcastle third, but you never know. I'd say put it down to a lot of injuries this time of the season for United, which is a shame really, because they got about 4 or 5 out, haven't they? So,
yeah. But yeah, it's true. Yeah. I mean, how do you feel with Manchester United now? Because you've got all your injuries, haven't you? You've got all your injuries, and star players. I believe Martinez is out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, he's out for the rest of the season. Yeah.
Yeah, who else have you got?
Who else is there? I think Luke Shaw's injured. Malacia, the left back. Rafa Varane, he's pulled an injury up. Sabatizer, it's a bit sorry. He didn't start yesterday. He got injured in the warm up. So yeah, might be a few reserves coming in towards the end of the season, but we never know. But surprise, Phil Jones might even get a game, but he got injured. He's injured at the moment. I read today as well. So yeah, so we're 6s and 7s across the back.
Yeah, tell me about it.
We got Aaron Maguire.
Right, you got Maguire. That's enough. Yeah, Amondi likes him as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a good defender. Yeah, he's better than Bobby Moore, he said.
Did he? All right, moving on swiftly now to the next game, Rich. All right.
No.
Right, is Man City unstoppable against Leicester? As you can tell, the scoreline was 3-1.
Let's go for it.
They went, in all fairness, Man City, when they went 3-0 up, I thought this was going to be more of a rout. They scored earlier on in the first half, the first 3 goals way early. I really thought this was going to be a rout of maybe a 5-0 or a 7-0 at least. But then when Leicester, obviously Leicester scored their goal, made it 3-1. And, I think when you chat to many Leicester fans, they knew it was a game that they couldn't win. But what they've done in that game, in all fairness, I thought it wasn't bad. Obviously, hence because of the scoreline. But then again, you've got to think this was the obviously the Dean Smith has taken over now with John Terry as number 2. I believe this was his first game in charge, wasn't it?
Yeah.
This was his first game in charge. So I think with the tactics and the formation that he got, I think. Do you think to yourself with the formation and the tactics that they were playing against Man City? Do you think in this game it was just like a trial and error, just to see how they played basically against the top team.
Hard to say, really. I mean, when you're a club down in the relegation zone and then you're going to a team, it could possibly be European champions, Premier League champions, FA Cup winners. It's a hard game to start off with. So, and away from them as well. So, I just think, to be honest with you, the fixtures come and gone now. They've got to put a bed and they just got to move on now and hopefully pick 3 points up the weekend. Is it Wolves they got or something? Or?
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's all they need to do. I mean, at the end of the day, and Man City's, they're in a different league, aren't they? I mean, like you said, Haaland's banging goals in. They're unstoppable this season, no matter who comes up against them. Really, I think they're hate to say it, but he's got them playing well at the back. They're playing well in midfield. Obviously, Haaland up top, scoring a lot of goals. So to me, I mean, if I was a Leicester manager, I mean, you don't set your team up to lose straight away, but they just got to put that one under the bed now and then move on with the next game. And hopefully, a bit of a Midlands derby, and hopefully they got to get 3 points. Because I think if they don't get 3 points this weekend, I'm sorry to say it, I think Leicester's gone.
Yeah, I could see it. I was actually going to say,
I don't think. I'll be honest with you as well. I mean, no disrespect to the Leicester fans or anybody watching if they are, but I don't think Dean Smith's the right manager. They call him. They're just well kept. Brendan Rodgers in charge there. I think if they're in a relegation battle.
Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right. I think it's 9. Is it 9 games now left of the season?
6. I think I looked at the tables last night. I think it's 36.
8 games or something like. I think Leicester might have a game in hand. I'm not too sure, but obviously with them being bottom as well, I think they've got rid of Brendan Rodgers. I think it was the wrong time that they sacked him. They should have sacked him before. They needed him in the manager to be the manager in January, obviously because they were after these certain players, these certain signings in the January transfer window. This is why they let Brendan be the manager then, so obviously so he can get his players in. He's got the players in he's wanted. He couldn't motivate them. I don't think they understand his tactics and philosophy. I don't think that he was respected at the club. But then again, I've heard people say, even on streams now, like Leicester fans, saying that with Brendan Rodgers, no matter where he goes to, he's only got something like a 3 or 4 year shelf line at a squad, at team. After 3 or 4 seasons being a manager of a certain team, it just goes downhill from there. I think he's had it from obviously when. I mean, don't get me wrong, he did well at Swansea, but it was that at Liverpool. He was there for about was it 2 or 3 seasons? He was there at Liverpool. Then he left there. He was there for, he went to Celtic, didn't he? He was there for a good 3 or 4 seasons at Celtic?
Yeah, I mean, they never had much competition. Celtic and everything. I mean, they look good because there was no competition out there. But I think it was a good choice for Leicester at the time. But obviously, I think he lost the dressing room. And when you lose the dressing room, it's an uphill challenge then. But I mean, like everybody said, Leicester City, like their midfield, like RB Barnes and I mean every team that's good on paper is what you do on the pitch. It counts, like so.
Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately for him, he lost his job. But perhaps he should have done it like February or something. Got a manager in, a few more games spare to have a look at his team, get the best out of them. Everything. But I feel for Leicester, to be honest with you, this season, I think they're going to be one of the clubs to go.
Yeah,
but go back to Man City though. Perhaps they're saving all their goals for the 26th of April.
Well, yeah, I mean we got Man City coming up. Obviously we got. I was going to do a show, but I didn't realise I'm not going to be doing a Gunners for More Corners this Friday because obviously Arsenal's got Southampton this Friday. I think it's at 8 o'clock kickoff, so obviously there's going to be no Gunners for More Corners. But yeah, I think that's a game.
I've betted on that game, man.
Sorry,
I've betted on that game.
Oh yeah, all right. But I bet you. I know what you've done. I think I know what you've betted on. I bet you've done Southampton to win.
1-0 Theo Walcott to score first goal.
Yeah, I know. I knew he was going to see something like that. But yeah, I think. Going back, do you think? I'm going to ask you the same question in the next month's round. Obviously, so Leicester City, you've tipped. Obviously, you reckon they're going to get relegated. Along with who would you say? What, Southampton, Leicester?
I think Southampton, Leicester, and I will probably say at this current present time, Nottingham Forest, but Leeds are playing now. They played that far. I don't know how they're getting on against Liverpool. They're the team above Nottingham Forest, aren't they? A point above
Yeah,
them? Yeah, I
yeah.
don't know how they're getting on, but
I didn't know. Oh, is they are playing? Is right. I got Sky Sports News on in the background. Is 0-0 at the minute.
all right,
Yeah,
yeah. Well, see how that result goes tonight, but I think at the moment, I think the way you look at the teams at the moment, I mean, Forest, when was the last time Forest won a game? Quite a while ago, wasn't it?
it was
February, was
quite
it?
a while ago. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's,
I think with
I
all
mean,
these players, I mean, people was thinking that the Emmys probably stay up, but when you get right down to the wire, I mean, obviously you look at it now, it's like 31 games been
well, the thing
played,
is,
31, 32. You can turn around and say, well, look, hang on, it's getting towards the end of the season now, and they're down there. And
yeah,
but yeah, I think with me, that's two of my teams. I said Southampton and Leicester. I'm either picking between Forest and Leeds United. Obviously
yeah.
to go down. But then again, you've got
Everton's still in it.
Everton. Everton's still in that relegation zone. But can Sean Dyche do anything there? I mean, can he work? He did in his first game when he beat us 1-0. Everton when
Mm.
they beat Arsenal going back a few weeks ago. But is I mean, don't get me wrong, it's all to play for, but I just feel I just feel it's going to be either Forest or Leeds. I think Deitch might do something. He had tweaked something in the last 2 or 3 games of the season, and they'd be
Yeah,
fine.
you
But
reckon?
yeah, I'm just going to quickly nip to the comments, Rich. Let's see
Yeah,
what we got in there. Okay, we got Brush. Brush says like, share, and subscribe. Well done, Brush. Make sure you do,
and the
mind.
Watch.
And we got another betting guy here. Solo from the Man United agenda. He's saying big up, gentlemen. Big up, Solo.
We got Solo.
And King TV. King how you doing, mate? This is a gooner. He says John Stone's new role as CDM is impressive. So what do you think about that, Rich? John Stones has been moved up to from centre back into CDM.
But to be honest with you, man, I don't think he could throw him. But nah, he's a good defender. He's solid and everything. He's pushed up a little bit, and he scored a nice goal Saturday. The volley went it into the
Yeah.
corner and everything. Yeah, good player and everything. I'll give him that. But yeah, he's doing well.
How do you think
Perhaps
he
he'll be
is?
a striker next. That's
How
a
do you think?
centre defensive midfield. He'll be a striker next season.
Yeah. So do you think he's doing well in that defensive
Yeah, I
midfield?
mean, yeah. Also, has given Aki a bit of a run at centre back in it as well, and he's a good. I like that.
Yeah, true.
Nathan Aki, he's quite.
Awesome.
He got
Yeah.
pace, good tackler. So yeah, it's a good asset for Man City. That is.
Yeah. King goes on to say, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Smash the like, subscribe if you can. Thanks for the support. Yeah. Thank you, King. And make sure if anybody goes on, make sure you subscribe to King TV as well. He does Arsenal fan, does a really good content, really good show as well. And then we got Matt in. Thanks for viewing and smash all, share, like, subscribe, and thank you for helping the channel. That's okay, Matt.
No problem.
Okay. We go on to the next topic now. Okay. Going to go on to the next topic. We're going to go on to the Arsenal West Ham game now, Rich. You know what? I'm going to give you the floor with this one. I'm just going to let you explain your feelings on this match, and then I'll give mine after.
Watched the game yesterday. I think Arsenal started off well, got early goal, silenced the West Ham crowd. Then they went 2-0 up. And I thought, to be honest with you, I thought, oh, perhaps these boys on, what's his name, Mr. B shows right there. I'd like to see Arsenal giving them a bit of a hiding, to be honest with you. But I think was it the penalty before half time they scored, changed the game? Crowd got up and everything. But yeah, and then I think Arsenal's come out second half. Obviously, the goal half time give the team talk a bit of a different one, but crowd got up, and I thought like West Ham come out and played well. Arsenal was going at them and everything like that. But I do think Arsenal bottled it, and the reason why they bottled it, I think Thomas Partey cost Arsenal with the penalty, and a couple of silly challenges in midfield. He got booked for, and he wasn't winning nothing. And then they got in the game, then didn't they? 2-2. So yeah, I think Arsenal did let it slip yesterday. I think bad 2 points drop that was. Penalty miss as well, wasn't it, from Saka?
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I think they did bottle that one yesterday. I think it just says that was a bad 2 points drop yesterday for Arsenal. Being 2-0 up a game like it was last Sunday at Anfield. Finished 2-2.
Yeah. He's they are bottling a few games at the minute, Arsenal. So what you're saying is obviously a good result for West Ham. It is, and then with David Moyes as well. I mean, the way how West Ham are playing, anybody I think that they could go down as well. Where they are in the league, and
Which surprises me really, because they had a good season last season, but this season they've just. I think it's like you look at a couple of teams and things like that. I think a lot of teams this season blew a lot of money on sort of like midfield and that top, and didn't really recruit at the back. And I think that's what's cost a few teams this season.
Yeah. I mean, there was one time where they was going to chat that he was one of the managers that most probably would be sacked. Sometime this season, David Moyes, and obviously he's hung on there by the skin of his teeth, basically. And we've seen Brendan Rodgers gone, which it wasn't a surprise, but he was there. He was treading on thin ice, and it was so much. There was no much more he can do, but he was in a job for as long as he was there for. I suppose the owners had faith in him, like trying to win some games, but obviously he couldn't. And I feel that. I thought David Moyes was really going to get the boot this season, but he don't seem to be getting the boot. Do you feel if David Moyes was to get the sack, do you feel that he can? Do you feel that he might get sacked the last game of the season? After the last game of the season, sorry. Even if they just survive by the skin of their teeth. Oh, he's gone. I was right. Well, Rich is gone. He should be back in a minute. But yeah, I mean, go into this game. I'll just chat about this game for to be honest with you. I thought that Arsenal were very good in the first 25 minutes. Obviously scoring 2 goals, and then West Ham came back. Right to come in.
All right. Yeah, my phone rang. Then I pushed the button to cut the call off.
Oh, you pressed the button, was it? It was your fault then.
Yeah, but I declined the call. I won't decline it when.
Right. Yeah, but it was that our mum, I expect. But it was like what I was saying. Going back, Rich, with this game, I feel that the first 25 minutes of this game was brilliant. Arsenal being 2-0 up, then West Ham scoring a goal. In the first half, so it was 2-1. I didn't really. I enjoyed the first half. I thought the first half was really good. The second half, I thought it was just poor. Arsenal couldn't get into the game. I felt Partey was poor. I thought Partey was rubbish.
Yeah.
He didn't really do anything for that game. I am going to say it now. I thought Saka was poor. I thought Saka was, but I know he had.
He didn't get in the game, did he?
Yeah, he wasn't really doing much out on the right hand side. He was a bit poor. I don't know whether the ball was being played into him as much as he could. Obviously, he was trying to cross the ball in. He couldn't get the ball in. He missed the penalty. I was actually surprised because you've seen Jesus with the ball, and he's there and he's tapping the ball on the floor, and then suddenly he hands it to Saka to take the penalty. But I felt like because obviously Saka was poor leading up to the penalty. The penalty he took. I thought to myself, if a player is playing poor, why would you offer him to take a penalty?
Yeah,
I think Jesus would have took that penalty. Obviously, we would have won the game 3-2 if he would have scored. I mean, it would have been nice if Jesus would have scored that penalty. He would have been on 10 goals. He would have been on double figures. He would have been equalled to Odegaard. That would have been 10. I think with Jesus, his record would have been 10 goals in 19 games. So, do you know what I'm saying? So that wouldn't have been that bad.
But yeah, I mean, I was surprised yesterday. I thought it would have been Jesus to take the penalty, to be honest with you, but obviously Saka felt confident and put it away. I mean, but you look, not bringing history up, but you go back the week before, it went for us because Mo Salah missed one, so it do even out, like, do you know what I mean? But yeah, obviously on that one, a couple of poor performances there from a few Arsenal players. Some look played well, I think massive 2 points drop.
Yeah, it is massive 2 points. Even though we drew that game, I got to be honest with you, I feel that we were that draw felt like a defeat to me. It felt like a loss, and you know, I just couldn't believe it. I mean, we were absolutely poor in the second half. There's nothing to explain. You know, you can't give a reason to Arsenal in the second half. Just absolutely poor. Nothing. I look at it.
It'll be interesting.
We've talked about Man City game. Obviously, we're now talking about the Arsenal game. Rich, Arsenal's top of the Premier League at the minute.
Yeah.
And I think is it by 4? Is it 4 points?
It is 4 points. Man City got a game done, I think.
Yeah, 4 points.
But come this weekend, they'll have 2 games now because they got the semi-final.
Right, if anybody's interested, Liverpool, if now they have gone 2-0 up, they're beating Leeds United 2-0. Gakpo got the first goal, but I don't know who's got the second. I think he's going to VAR decision because the name hasn't come up yet. So I didn't know if you were interested. But I just saying these. I feel. Who do you think is going to win the Premier League? Matt, you've got Man City, you've got Arsenal. Who have you tipped?
We can all say Man City. We can all say Arsenal. But I think, to be honest with you, I mean, I still think Chelsea would be at our game for you. Is it home or away, Chelsea? You got?
You've asked me something there. I know it's Chelsea. Then there's Newcastle. I think is Newcastle.
Yeah.
I think Chelsea's at Stamford and we're at St James's. But if there's anybody in the chat that knows, then most probably corrects me and say that I'm wrong. It's the other way around. But you know, I feel we beat. I feel we could beat Chelsea the way how they are playing this season. Frank Lampard coming in. I don't think Frank Lampard. He'll pick up a couple of points from now to the end of the season. But when I say points, it might be 2 wins and maybe 2 draws, and the rest of them could be losses. I don't know who Chelsea's got like from now until the end of the season, but I mean, it's going to be poor no matter what until they get their manager, you know, next season. So, but yeah, so I feel that on the day, I feel that if Arsenal could beat Manchester City on the day, if they do beat them on that day, I feel that Arsenal will win the Premier League.
Thing is, like you said, there's a lot of football left to play yet. When you play April 26, 2 weeks time, don't you?
Yeah.
I think what you might do is it tomorrow night or Wednesday night? They got Bayern Munich away, Man City. Wednesday, I think. I think what you might do Wednesday is set the team out and then probably get the away goal. Could probably might look to get 4-0 up on aggregate or so. If that do happen, I think you get the big guns off because they got the semi-final against Sheffield United on Saturday. I don't think you'll see a first team out against Sheffield United. I think he'll rest a couple, knowing he's still got falling back for the Premier League. So, but you never know in a game of football. But I think that's the decider: Man City and Arsenal, and I think whoever wins that game and go on to win the league. That's my opinion.
I know, but trouble is, Rich, but you being a Man United fan, you don't want Man City doing the triple because they'd take that from you as well, wouldn't they?
I want this to work out perfect for me. Man City let them win the league.
Yeah.
Man United win the FA Cup. Real Madrid win the Champions League.
Okay. Right. We're going to go back to the comments here. King's just put another. He said West Ham could get relegated and win a European trophy. That'd be a first. But it would be. What do you think of that, Rich? If West Ham got relegated and they won the Europa, is the conference they're in, isn't it? Europa League
Yeah,
conference.
the Europa Conference. Well, you never know. I mean, that could happen, but I don't think it will. I think in that group at the moment of that competition, I think Fiorentina looks a good side in that tournament. But you never know, though. But that'd be strange one, though, wouldn't it? West Ham could get relegated and win the European Cup. He'd be playing European football in the Championship.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
But
they'll go down now. I think they got a few good players there. They got to play a couple of teams down that neck of the table yet as well. So I think they get their points from them at Southampton's and sort of like not Southampton. I think they got some Leicester to play a game like that. So I think West Ham will be all right. They'll be staying up.
yeah, yeah. Is what I said. But going back to this Arsenal game, it was absolutely dire. I just couldn't believe it. And so what I said, the draw felt like a loss. And believe you and me, there weren't a lot of happy fans after the game, even going on streams that miserable of Arsenal fans. Some of them are saying now, if Arteta doesn't win the league, um, should he go? I mean, some of these Arteta out people,
Oh,
they
you'll
might.
see all that.
You
You'll
see,
see
yeah,
all that
you
if
see
they
all
don't
that,
win the
yeah,
league.
yeah. So
But I think it'd be. Me personally, how long has he been there now? 4 years?
yeah,
Is this his fourth season or fifth season?
I think this is fourth season now coming up. It's back for just coming up to four now, with Arteta.
Well, a club like Arsenal, I mean, no disrespect, but you give a manager 4 seasons if he hasn't turned nothing around. I mean, but then again, look at Liverpool. I mean, Klopp was there 5 years before they won anything. So, but not the thing is today, there's no patience in football today. So I think you'll see a
Yeah,
lot of
that's
the
right.
old Arteta
Yeah,
laters out at the end of the season if they don't win the league.
yeah. Well, it is half time now. I think of the Liverpool and the Leeds United game. It was Salah. They got the second goal, by the way.
How was that?
If anybody's interested, yeah, it's just come up here.
I'm not.
We're just gonna go on to the last topic. Right, on the weekend, Rich, there was a lot of football played on the weekend. A lot of players scored goals. All I need to know is what was your player of the weekend and why?
Player of the weekend for me was Gerard Bowen, and the reason why because he plays against Arsenal. Now, there's a few good players this weekend. Bruno Fernandes played well yesterday. Anthony had a good game, but my player of the weekend I'll probably go just tips at that Ollie Watkins for Aston Villa. I thought he looked pretty prolific in front of goal.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll go for him, Ollie Watkins.
yeah, you bastard. That was my player, Ollie Watkins.
Oh, was
I
it?
just Yes, that was who I was
She
gonna.
got
I
my
didn't even
points
tell you.
away.
I didn't even tell you who it was, and you picked my player. I can't believe it. But yeah, it's like what I said. My player as well. It was Ollie Watkins. I just feel that
Yeah,
what he's doing at Aston Villa is
yeah, yeah.
incredible. He's got amazing. His
He
pace,
looks fit as
skill,
well this season, doesn't
his
he?
his work rate is good.
Yeah,
He's scoring goals. Totally different player under Unai Emery. He's playing the best of his football underneath Unai
yeah.
Emery, and it's funny how you get Aston Villa get a player in. Well, I'm sorry, a manager in like that, as in Unai Emery, which was a bit of a shock that Unai Emery coming into Aston Villa. But I mean, fair play for Villa getting him and what he's doing to that team. I mean, obviously, as you know, my player of the weekend was Ollie Watkins. Scored a goal, but I just feel he's incredible, and I think there's going to be a lot of teams after him next season. I really do think that there's going to be a few teams, top teams as well. You know, I
Yeah.
really think top teams are going to be going in for Ollie Watkins. And what Unai Emery is doing to that team, that Aston Villa team, unbelievable at the minute. Do you think they could finish in? Do you reckon they're finishing Europe, Rich? Like a top six? They're only like two.
Um,
Is it 2 or 3 points away from sixth place?
well, to be honest with you, when you look at the Premier League, I mean, I think that not saying in order at the moment, but those four sides in that four at the moment, that would be the four teams out there. Whether United finishes fourth, Newcastle fourth, vice versa, Man City top, Arsenal top, whatever. That'd be a four. And I think looking at it at the moment, I think the battle for fifth will be between Aston Villa and Brighton. Because I'm going to rule Tottenham out because I don't think Tottenham's playing good football at all. I mean, Saturday was awful. Yeah, I think they can make it. I think what we'll see. I think we'll see Newcastle, Aston Villa, or Brighton fifth, and the other one sixth. I think that'll be your top six out of those two. I think Fulham might just miss out because they got that Mitrovic suspended. They had a good win against Everton on Saturday, but yeah, I think that'll be the. I think I see Brighton getting in fifth, maybe Villa sixth, or vice versa. I think Tottenham's gonna have a bit of a wake up call actually because they've got quite a few hard games left. Tottenham, so
Yeah,
yeah, I think Villa be up there. Yeah.
yeah. Talking about Tottenham, obviously they got a temporary manager in charge at the minute. Who could see being the manager at Tottenham the next season?
Well, I read just now. He's been slashed. His odds been slashed 5-2 by the betting shop for Luis Enrique.
Oh,
Yeah, I think the betting shop's nearly suspending bets on him for obviously for him to be the next Tottenham manager. So
I
yeah,
don't
it
think
should
he
be an
will be
interesting
rich.
one.
I don't think he will be. I think what it
Nah, I
is
don't think.
with that Enrique, I think he's going to want the same wages roughly as Conte.
Yeah.
Enrique's a bit greedy. He most probably want 300 million to spend in one season. I don't think
Mm,
you'll get that. I think they'll go for
no.
a manager that's when I say low down, a good manager but low down. Do you know who I reckon it'd be? I bet
Go
you.
on.
I reckon it'd be Silva, the Fulham manager.
Do you want to be him? Do you?
Yeah, Marcus Silva. Yeah, I really do. I think what he's done at Fulham, I think he's done a fantastic job at Fulham. I mean,
Thing
just
is, though,
coming
would
up
he
from the
be
Championship and that, and I mean, where's Fulham now in the table? I think they're about seventh or eighth,
seven?
aren't they?
Yeah.
So
Thing is, that's all well being, but everybody said the same about Potter, didn't he? Oh, I think he could be a great manager at Chelsea and everything. Give him the go there, and the club is too big for him. I think you get that with your clubs like your Fulhams and things like that. They get a good season, and they turn around and say, "Oh yeah, you could do a job at
yeah,
top four club." And then obviously sometimes it could be a bit too big for him, big step for him. But no, I think they'll. Things it all depends what that Levi wants out of Tottenham. Do we want him to start going places and rebuilding again? Because I mean, you take the season they played in the Champions League and all that, and in the semis going back like 4 years ago. I think Tottenham's got a lot poorer since then, and they're right there poor side now.
when he's doing Cisco for Brighton. Do you agree with this comment, Rich? You reckon he had a good game over the weekend?
Who's this player of the weekend?
Yeah,
That was the young one, that Uruguay when it was smashed. Was that him who's got the goal smashed in the top corner?
big game, but yeah,
Yeah, he played well. He had a few good runs and a few shots on goal, and that was a hell of a finish. More, I give him credit for that. He done really well. That was a lovely strike. Good play. Looks like a one for the future. I can see why he's
definitely,
saying that. He did have a good weekend.
definitely, definitely. But yeah, that's our players of the weekend. So I think that's pretty much it now. We've pretty much sussed all our games, our player over the weekend. We discussed a
Yeah,
few other things as well. Premier League orientated. So
I got
I
a quick
think
question for you.
what's that?
Being an Arsenal fan, who do you think win the league?
Do you know what? I'm gonna go on the I'm gonna go. We've got Southampton Friday. I think we're gonna beat Southampton.
Yeah, I think
Um,
you'll beat
then
Southampton.
we've got Man City. I think whoever's gonna win that game, um, will win the league. But
Mm.
trouble is though, we've got after the Man City game, we've got Chelsea, followed by Newcastle. So, and then I think right. I
You
know
got to go away. Yeah, you
Yeah,
got
I
to go away
know
to Brighton.
Brighton's in there. We got to play
Yeah.
Brighton, and I know Wolves is Arsenal's last game of the season. So is it's going to be hard. I think you look at it both. They see that Man City's got an easier run than what Arsenal's got. But I can't remember Man City's every single game they got to play from now to the end of the season. But you know, you can only play what's in front of you, Rich.
Yeah, that's right.
You've
Yeah.
got to
That's
go.
what we
You've got to
do. Yeah,
try.
that's what we do.
You've got to try and win. And get the 3 points. Don't worry how you play from now to the end of the season. Just worry about getting those 3 points. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't care if we had 10 shots on goal against Man
And what
City
was
and they
it?
had 30 and we beat them 2-1. I'll be happy with
Yeah.
that. And they had those more possession. I'll be happy with that. If even if it meant Arsenal parking the bloody bus for the last 20 minutes of the game, so be it. I'll be happy with
Yeah.
it. If it's 3 points, it's 3 points. But I don't
Right.
feel that we've got the. I don't think that we have got good players there. I'm surprised we went out the Europa League, to be honest with you. And I thought we had a good team in that in Europa League. Then we're top of the Premier League at the
Oh, yeah.
minute.
That
I
was a
think
game, yeah, halfway line done your game, wasn't it? In
yeah,
Europe.
yeah, that's right, yeah. But I feel is it is what it is. I don't feel that we've got a good going into next season. Obviously, we need to strengthen because we got new strength there. We are
Oh,
running a bit weak, and
yeah.
when I say weak, I mean it could be um, DM is one of them. Even though we've got Shaka and you know Barty and Jorginho, I feel that we need someone else there. This is why people were talking about Declan Rice, but you know,
I
it,
don't think I don't think Arsenal paid the money for him, man. I
uh,
reckon I'd like to see Mr. B's opinion on this. If you might, what his opinion be if you want to buy Fred off of us?
yeah, no, that won't happen. We don't want him. We don't want him. No, no, go away. No, he's there to stay. Sulu loves him.
Do we?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sulu likes Fred. Don't you ditch Fred in front of Sulu. Yeah, if he's still here in the chat, he'll tell you.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But
Perhaps
anyway,
he likes the suits he wears.
yeah. Anyway, I think that's it now. We've covered pretty much everything, all the topics. We've talked about, all Premier League, other games, other players, managers, who we think new managers are being, and that. So it was all Premier League orientated. Rich, before we go, do you want to shout out where people can find you, like your socials, if they can find you on is it Facebook and Instagram?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook. You can find me on My United Agenda on your shows as well.
Yeah, on this show.
Yeah, Premier League show and everything. Yeah, so yeah, that's where you find me.
Oh, good. And then we've got.
Any more comments in the box, then?
Yeah, yeah. Matt's here. He's saying, thanks for tuning in. We're back next week, plus Champions League show this Wednesday night at 9:45. We will meet the semis. Wow.
Man
You'll have to
City,
watch
Real
out.
Madrid,
You'll have to watch
Inter
out.
Milan.
And also, you'll have to tune in to Matt. And make sure you do. Make sure you like, subscribe, and also let's watch Matt on his next show.
Yeah, hit that
And
like button, people.
yeah, I will do, Matt. No worries.
What's that? Take the player of the weekend banner down.
All right. So that's it, people. That's it, folks. We're off now. I hope you enjoyed the rest of your Monday. If you're watching the game, Liverpool and Leeds, that is. Whether it looks like Liverpool's going to win. But good night from me and good night from Rich.
Good night from me. Look after yourselves.